You know, I had this really cool visual way to possibly explain the experience of expansion in a way that it's interesting, always trying to come up with these ways to explain the experience, right? And it's anybody who has these, experiences knows it's an exercise. And I think it's a fun exercise to try to come up with stuff. But I had this really cool visual. I was locking up the house last night and I was walking through and I thought it was really spiritual. We live in a beautiful place. All around us had kind of a moonlight to it, and it's snow everywhere, and we have acreage and so on. So you could see out all the windows, and it just is this really cool, surreal experience. Everything's quiet, and I was able to see how when you of course, we all have, put something into water and watch it dissolve. Well, you take the item and it has a form or shape to it, but you put it into water and it dissolves. And that's what my experience with mortality is. Mortality is this object, say, right? And it, in and of itself, is, I guess this is where there's a little gap in this, but basically we are an item. We are in this ocean of space. Let's just say you put this item in the water and it takes a while to dissolve, okay? So our lifetime is basically, we're in this ocean. We're all integrated as part of this ocean. And what we think is actually that, we think that, my example has got more gaps, but anyway, we think that we're in this ocean and that we're like this individual item, and that there's our being is defined by the borders of our body, or say we believe we have an aura, and so we still see this outline or this shape to us, and we don't see that we expand. Well, in my experience, I always felt like before I had my understanding of expansion and integration with everything, I always traveled outside my body and went huge distances and like all over the world and everything. And I felt myself everywhere, and I felt kinship with everyone and everything everywhere, and just people I'd never met, never saw. I could touch them. I could feel them. I could feel all these things going on everywhere. And I never understood necessarily that basically we are, even though we see ourselves as a body and have this experience and so on, we are as if we were to drop ourselves into that ocean and we dissolved. Maybe that'll work. But I just saw how integrated we become when we become dissolved into the ocean, and how that integration in and of itself is really what my vision was, is that last night was where I could see that what I experience on a normal day-to-day basis and now really understand as integration is that we really are integrated in everything, and that there is no body, say, that limits us in our integration. We feel like there is, and we surely get a visual when we actually do pass away or whatever. Our body, dissolves, disintegrates, decomposes, and integrates with everything. And over 1,000 years, you'd never know, that we were even here, right? Or less, a lot less. And spirit is the same. But the thing about our spirit is it already is integrated. It already is figuring out and touching being part of all things around us. So when I think of this this example I was trying to give, that kind of blew up, but basically it's cool that we integrate in everything. We are integrated in everything, and it's just realizing that integration. That's all we're really doing. We're realizing when self-expansion is when we fully realize how expanded we really are. That's what that really comes down to. It's just a realization, as with everything that is anything to us, is that we've realized that expansion. So anyway, thoughts for now, and signing off until next time.